Hi,
You
I'm
are?
Louis Wolf with the DC group, DC911truth.org. We publish a newspaper, the Rock Creek Free Press, which is a monthly newspaper published now for 6 years. We also have a lot of work in the area of investigating what really happens. This is our brochure. We have to print a new one. Obviously, it's out of date already. It's nearly 10 years, so we're working on a new edition of it. Essentially, I came to understand pretty quickly that something was wrong with the official story. Really, the first night on TV, when the wanted posters of the alleged 19 Arab hijackers appeared on our national newscasts. And I knew very well from my investigations over the years into CIA and FBI activities that the FBI does not work that fast. They're not equipped to work that fast, even though they have huge resources. They have thousands of personnel. They have all kinds of technology. But they don't have human either commitment to that kind of quick diagnostic and production-oriented wanted posters for that. They have there obviously the 10 most wanted men and all of that, most wanted criminals.
And Bin Laden's not one of them.
Yes, exactly. I was about to point that out. You're absolutely right, and it's one of the big paradoxes in the official story. How can they purport to say that to propound the official story, and yet the man that they allegedly just killed a few weeks ago, despite the fact that he was dead in 2001 already of natural causes, it's hard to really put the official story in any. I mean, it's almost like out of a comic book.
Yeah.
It falls apart at every turn. But I still, even after that newscast, although I didn't believe that, I saw the buildings come down. It was horrific. Of course, I didn't really know about Building 7 at the time. I only learned about that through the other people in our organization and through other research about Building 7, a building that was not struck by an aircraft and only had 2 small office fires. Essentially, that were out within minutes when the firefighters were inside. I think the clincher for me was the audio tapes of the first responders in the Twin Towers who were screaming, and the audio tapes you can find online. They're screaming, "What the f*** are all these explosions?" Now those audio tapes statements by firefighters, most of whom have died when the buildings fell, are very, very important. They're time-stamped. They're well before the towers come down. There is also the issue of what is now believed to be nanothermite in the buildings. I know it's a very controversial issue, but there's no question that there was no way that the buildings could come down in their own footprint from the impact of the planes. I'm not one of those who believes that there were no planes to hit the towers. I do believe that happened, but there's no possibility that steel melts from airplane fuel. It's just not hot enough to do that. I've spent a lot of years having worked in Southeast Asia as a conscientious objector to military service, and I saw up close the work of an agency I'd never heard of when I arrived there in 1964 at the age of 24. And I learned about the CIA very quickly and up close when they were all around me there in their khaki pants and their plaid shirts. They kind of stand out in the middle of the jungle in Laos, right? I'll never forget, and I use this to point out how it works. I was in a pickup softball game there in Vientiane, Laos, and we were playing people from the embassy and people from IBS that I was working with, who were very idealistic people, unlike the other people in the teams. Mm-hmm. And I was playing second base, and this guy slid into second base, and then he looked up at me and said, and he knocked me down with his feet, sliding in, and he said, two things. He said, one, this never happened, and two, you never saw me, right? Wow. In a very threatening way. It was very, and I suddenly, chills went down my spine. Well, the CIA is a very dedicated outfit. I've spent a lot of years looking into it. And 9/11 is one of its many operations that it was involved in. Of course, the military and all kinds of other assets, intelligence assets, were involved, including the owner of the Twin Towers himself, mm-hmm. who said on national television that we pulled the building.
We decided to pull it.
We decided to pull Building 7.
Yeah.
He made millions of dollars off the towers coming down. Millions of dollars, which
Didn't he make billions,
he insured.
Because he bought it for a few millions, which he hadn't even paid the whole amount of,
right.
And then got double insurance back. And a little fishy to say the least.
Indeed, indeed. And he is still today one of the richest men in New York. Mm-hmm. I just learned recently that he also owns the Sears Trade Tower in Chicago,
great.
which was claimed to be one of the likely targets also.
Yeah.
May still come down from some conspiracy by them. They look at us as the conspiracy freaks. They are the conspiracy freaks.
Yeah.
They put this stuff together, and they're real conspiracies.
Yeah.
Against us, against
mm-hmm.
all of us.
Yeah.